Good day, people of YouTube, especially the knife enthusiasts. Today I want to make a video regarding a couple of things. This is going to be a three-part video. I'm going to try my best to keep it as short as possible and not bore you with any anecdotes. But let's start firstly. First thing I'm going to start off with is stones. Now there's a lot of personal opinions regarding stones, and some people saying you should go as fine as you can, but that's not always the case. For instance, I would rather have a stone that's, let's say, 600 grit, but it's fairly hard and it will last quite a long time, than have a 3000 grit stone which dishes out even after the first use. But what I like to do, this is an old Norton stone. It's got an 80 grit and 120. This is another old Norton stone. These are oil stones. This is about an 800 to 1000 grit. Sharpen, just the polishing, and then I will go to a strop. And that is enough for my use, and I find that keeps the better edge. But if you really want to go the extra mile, you can get something like this. This is a natural stone. This is completely natural. This is slate stone. This is very high grit. I would say easily between 4,000 and 6,000 grit, if not higher. But there's a lot of misconception regarding stones. People saying that something like this, which is, let's say for argument's sake, a 5000 grit, cannot do the same thing as a 120, and I beg to differ, because there is different applications for different sharpening grits, if I can say it like that. Because having a knife that has such a fine edge that if you just touch something, that edge is completely ruined, that's not practical, not for an everyday use knife. And I'm not speaking about having super steel knives like CPM S30V or anything like that. For, let's say, a homemade knife made out of an old file or just a piece of stainless steel or any knife that you bought, I will say that the type of knife you have, especially these knockoff Chinese ones like this Buck here, Buck does not make this knife. This is a Chinese, it's not even a copy, it's just a knife that has the name on it, but that is not a Buck. This is horrible steel. I love the knife, but unfortunately I cannot use it since it does not keep an edge. But that's a topic for another video. My main topic is stones. So regarding stones, you get a lot of these. If you go into your hardware store, you would most likely find a stone that looks more or less like this. You'd get ones that are slightly broader as well, and they would be usually labeled 3,000, 5,000, 3,000, 8,000, things like that. But those stones, they are really what they advertise. Because I myself own one of those stones, and it was advertised at 3,000 and 8,000 grit, and nowhere close. The 8,000 was more like 1,000, and the 3,000 was more like a 400. Bearing in mind that I made that comparison based on what my Lansky sharpening system, what those stones more or less give me feedback on. So for regarding your sharpening, you really don't need a 2000 grit stone. It's a waste. You'd be with this, you can do anything you want. You can get your knife shaving sharp if that's what you desire. If you just want a knife that will cut the hell out of anything, 80 grit is fine. And stropping, that's it. You don't need anything more, you don't need anything less. If you want to go the route of buying diamond stones, that's a very good thing to have. I myself like them, but I just cannot afford them. They're just simply too expensive for my current setup. Because me, I'm happy using these. These stones are extremely old. These stones are older than me. So to me, it's a bit of a nostalgic thing using these stones. So yes. And also when buying stones, I know this will be a hard concept to grasp if you're not familiar with sharpening, but try to avoid soft stones. Stones that those are usually the ones that you can get for a bargain that cost basically nothing. Those are the ones that really they will wear out extremely fast. Rather save a bit of money and spend your money on a good decent ceramic stone. Ceramic stones will give you a far better life. It will also give you a far better experience sharpening knives as you starting out. Because if you have a knife, a stone that is completely soft, this stone for example is extremely soft. If you're just too much of an angle, if you just run slightly over the apex, the knife will actually bite into the stone, and that is not ideal. That's not what you want. So it takes quite the experience and muscle memory to use soft stones like this. And that is basically it for my video. It's a very short video just regarding stones. So to sum up quickly, don't buy cheap stones, but also don't go super expensive. And also try to find a harder stone as you can. So that will maximize the life of the stone. Also it will increase your sharpening experience. Sharpening is not something that is mythical. It's just something that has been forgotten since we don't need to do it anymore. There's no need for it because everything is automated and fast going, like the business world. Instant potatoes, instant noodles, everything is instant. Nobody wants to take time to do anything. So it's just something that has been forgotten. It's not this mythical thing that only certain people can master. Anyone can do it. Just takes a bit of practice, but it does help if you have the correct equipment. And for this video, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for watching. If this gets views at all, thank you very much. If not, so be it. I'm just posting these videos because these videos answer questions that I had, which I could not find on knife forums, also not on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching. If you're watching, have a blessed day.